The Colorado State Forest Service Seedling Tree Nursery, located on the Foothills campus of Colorado State University in Fort Collins, Colorado, is the state's leader in producing low-cost, Colorado-grown seedling trees and shrubs for conservation purposes. In keeping with its mission, this nursery produces a variety of species for landowners and land managers, all selected for their hardiness and adaptability and ideally suited for conservation purposes. The nursery contains 18,000 square feet of greenhouse space, represented by 3 separated greenhouses. There are 3 seeding cycles per year performed in this space, and plants are moved from greenhouses to shade houses 3 times annually when new plants are seeded. Shade houses, or partially enclosed shade structures, represent the next step in the process for seeded plants started in the greenhouses at the nursery. Plants stay in these shade houses until they are collected for distribution to different collaborators or sold during customer pickup times. The Colorado State Forest Service Nursery also grows plant species in outdoor environments from seed to sale in fields located on the nursery's property. The nursery has 130 acres of field space, which are used for production of bare root plants and existing stock for cuttings. Some plants grown in the field, such as the cottonwoods you see here, are used for plant propagation to produce more genetically identical plants, helping to conserve native genetics that have historically thrived in Colorado. Plants grown in the fields stay for 1 to 2 years, then are tilled out and bundled to be stored in the walk-in coolers. The Colorado State Forest Service Nursery has 3 large coolers, kept below 35 degrees. Bare root plants are stored in the coolers after being tilled from the fields, as these low temperatures result in plants going dormant, so they will be ready to plant in the ground when received by collaborators and landowners. Collected plant cuttings, like willows and cottonwood, are also stored here as they are prepared for plant propagation so that more stock can be produced. Once all orders are placed, plants are collected from shade houses and coolers, loaded into trucks, and delivered throughout the state. The Colorado State Forest Service Nursery cooperates with a few agencies around the state of Colorado that help to promote and sell most of its seedlings to landowners. Cooperators include CSU Extension offices, conservation districts from around the state, and Colorado State Forest Service field offices. These Colorado blue spruces were seeded 40 years ago and started in the greenhouses at the nursery before being transplanted between fields as windbreaks for production fields. The resilience and health of these windbreaks speaks to the effectiveness of planting native species sourced from local genetics, as well as providing a clear example that plants produced by the Colorado State Forest Service Nursery thrive in Colorado ecosystems. In order to better understand the benefits provided by native species like the plants sold at the nursery, we sat down with Robert Coleman, professor of forestry at Colorado State University. He explained to us some of the benefits of using native species in large conservation and restoration projects, as well as some of the drawbacks of planting introduced non-native plant species in Colorado ecosystems.
When you're trying to restore an area, you're going to have some intensive work up front in establishing that restoration, but after a while you're not going to be able to put the time and money into monitoring it as much. So you got to be able, those native plants have to be able to take hold and establish and work and live on their own. And in a native environment, I think they would do better. Planting non-native plants could actually disrupt the native processes. You know, you introduce a tree or a plant that's not from around here, they could utilize the resources more. They could be detrimental to some of the other native things in the ecosystem, like the insects or the animals. So I think from that perspective as well, by introducing non-native, you could run into some trouble.
Mm-hmm. Supporting the Colorado State Forest Service Nursery by purchasing plants for large conservation projects or just for backyard planting helps conserve local genetics and promote the presence of native plant species in the state, while providing a myriad of benefits to landowners. If you are interested in purchasing plants from the Colorado State Forest Service, come to our customer pickup days on Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. and find out what you can do to benefit your land and the region as a whole.